So when I think about SWID, the things that really come to my mind are many of the services that we had at District Assembly. Some of those times were, in my young adult years, were like camp meeting days, as we had a service on the last night of Assembly. And it was a joy to me. I think foundational in my life as a Christian was being a part of those services and hearing our general superintendents as they spoke and they challenged us. I doubt that I would be where I am and who I am today as a Christian had I not been a part of that.
And I think of a lot of the pastors. I interacted with the pastors all the time. I had to call them, email them. We interacted daily with some of the pastors, and they were wonderful people to work with. I loved every single pastor and wife that we had.
Well, I think most of all, when I think of this district, I think of family, because when I came here in 1994 to pastor the church at Seymour, I still had 2 children at home, and I found a great congregation there that welcomed us in. 2 of our children were at Mount Vernon and the university there, and later we would have 2 that would attend Olivet. And I found out right away that family was so vitally important, not only to the church there at Seymour, but around the district. And so that was a great comfort for me, because our whole life has been built around our family and the family of the church. And the Church of the Nazarene is all that we have known all of our life.
Well, I think of the time that I started out in the pastorate and in the at Tell City, and the district secretary's position. There were about 120 churches at that time. But I think about all of those working together to build God's kingdom in Southwest Indiana.
And what makes them special is that they all love the Lord, and they buy into the concept that we as the Church of the Nazarene believe that we're called to be a people set apart from the ways of the world. In other words, we're called to be a holy and godly people.
When I think of Southwest Indiana District, I think back to the time when I got saved, sanctified, called to preach, and got married. And Shirley and I have been married 59 years now. But I think of those preacher giants like Clyde Montgomery, Mark Hamilton, Norris Rumbley, Gene Clark, B.G. Wiggs, and more that I could name. They made a tremendous impact on me. Many of them became my mentors.
When I think of SWID, I think of home. We lived many different places. My father was in seminary and Olivet, but every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, we came home to Bedford, and that was the district parsonage, and we came home to SWID. So that's been my home all my life.
When I think of SWID, I think of family in the sense of interaction with pastors. I think of interaction with individuals, lay people, the privilege I had of pastoring in the churches on SWID, and how I believed people loved the Lord and loved one another and cared for one another and worked for each other. The fun of working camps with kids and then watching them grow up has all been a part of my life on SWID. And so it is home, like Becky said, but home starting a little later for me.
Another word that comes to mind when I think of SWID is unity. And I found when I would go to meetings on the district that there was great unity on the district. Pastors loved each other. The laity loved each other on this district. So it was just a wonderful place to be. And those are things that really come to my mind when I think of Southwest Indiana District.